It's me. Yesterday I was thinking about a movie, and today I decided I was going to watch it, and then I decided I was going to make a video because I want more people to appreciate it, and I want more people to understand why I love it. And the movie is The Black Cauldron. So, like, it's one of the lesser-known Disney movies. A lot of people actually haven't heard of it. I know a lot of people have, of course, but there are a lot of people that I talk to, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, I kind of have a feeling like I want to watch The Black Cauldron, and they're like, what is The Black Cauldron? And I'm like, what do you mean, what's The Black Cauldron? I can't comprehend somebody who has not seen The Black Cauldron just because it was such a prominent thing in my childhood. This and The Sword in the Stone and The Little Mermaid were my three favorite movies growing up. I watched them all the time. Also, The Dark Crystal, I think, but I've rewatched that since being an adult, and it's actually not as good as I remember it being as a kid. But The Black Cauldron is actually just as good, if not better, than I remember it. So I was watching it this morning, and there are so many good things about this movie. And it got me thinking, why is it so overlooked? Why do people not know about this movie? Why do people not appreciate it more? And I thought about a couple of things that might be the reason why. Back in the 80s when it was made, I think it didn't have good marketing, and it only did about, I think, $4 million at the box office, which sounds like a lot, but considering that something like The Lion King had $400 million, you can see the discrepancies about why they would think that this was more of a flop. And everybody says that this almost made Disney bankrupt, and, you know, it was a horrible thing. I'm like, you know, I think they judged it too unfairly back then, and I think that now that, you know, there is the 25th anniversary out and people are more understanding about watching things, that it should get more recognition, because it's a great movie. Like, okay, it doesn't have the singing, and it doesn't have the stereotypical princess that other Disney movies have, that we have all the Disney movie tropes, but there is a Disney princess in this. There is, like, romance, but this story is mostly about friendship, and adventure, and magic, and good versus evil, and there are witches, and goblins, and skeletons, and almost a skeleton war, but, you know, they put kibosh to that. And, I mean, there's the Horn King, who is probably the greatest villain ever. Like, he's voiced by John Hurt, which makes him 1,000 times better than any other villain ever. I think another reason, I think the PG rating didn't help it. Like, a lot of parents were like, oh, Aladdin is rated G, and, you know, all these other movies are rated G, means that they're great movies, and they're sing-alongs, and whatever. The Black Cauldron does deal with a little bit of darker material. In, like, the first 10 seconds, it tells you that there was a king, and he was so evil that they boiled him alive in molten iron. Like, that's pretty dark. And some of the imagery in this is very dark. The Horn King's design, oh, he's so awesomely cool. When I was a kid, I was like, yes. I mean, I can understand how he would be scary for little kids. Like, he is absolutely terrifying. His, like, glowing red eyes, and his skin, and he's just, like, the way he holds himself, and just his presence, he's so cool. But, like, I can understand why little kids would get scared. So, yeah, it needs, like, a PG rating. But it's something like Coraline, where it's still a family, kid-friendly movie. It's just got a little bit of more scary imagery. That doesn't mean that it's a bad movie or that it's not for kids. It just means that, you know, there are some kids who are more sensitive, someone like my friend Jamie, who wouldn't be able to watch it because then they would have nightmares. But that doesn't mean that all kids shouldn't be allowed to watch it just because it's a PG movie. This movie is great. I think I really, like, have a hard time understanding why people hate this movie, but then I think another reason that may have, you know, went into that is The Black Cauldron is apparently based on a book series. I didn't know that. I've never read the books. I had never heard about the books. So I watched the movie not even knowing anything about the books, and I enjoyed it. It's much like when I got into Percy Jackson. I know that there are books. I know the books are better. I know that the books are, you know, 1,000 times better than the movies, and I know a lot of people hate the movies and think they're crap. I enjoy the Percy Jackson movies. I don't know if that makes me bad at judging films or what, but I didn't read the books yet. I will read the books, but I wanted to enjoy the movies without having to read the books and going, that's not in the book, that's not in the book, where's this? This is supposed to be in the movie, and I don't want to deal with it. I did it with Harry Potter, and I just didn't want to do it again. So I think me not reading the books actually made me enjoy this movie, so I can understand why. I think they said there were 3 books, and that the books got condensed, and a lot of stuff got changed, and they added things. And if I loved the books and then they made this movie, then I'd be mad about it. But I didn't read the books. And looking at it as just a movie and not an adaptation, I still think it's excellent. I still think there's a lot of really important stuff in here that they go over, a lot of important stuff, good messages for kids and adults and anybody who watches this movie. I think it's a great, absolutely great piece of freaking cinema, and more people need to watch it. So I have like a whole list of like stuff that not only reasons why this movie is awesome, but reasons that you should not only watch it, but that you should also love it. And I'm also going to talk about why the princess in this movie, this one right here, this beautiful little girl, who is a Disney princess, by the way, should not only be loved, but also respected and given some place in the Disney freaking franchise. Because all these other princesses, like princesses who are not actually even princesses, like Mulan. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Mulan, I love the movie, I love her as a character, I love everything about her, I'm glad she got the recognition she deserves, she saved all from China, for God's sake, okay? But she's not a Disney princess, but she was inducted into the Disney Princess Court. Why was Princess Eilonwy never inducted into the Princess Court? She does all kinds of heroic things. I don't understand. So, like, there's a lot of things that she does in this movie that make her awesome, and I want to talk about how she is so overlooked. So, I'm going to. And I don't care if, like, 2 people watch this video. I don't care if no people watch this video. I need more people to understand that this movie is awesome, and I need them to understand that this princess is awesome, and that Taran is awesome, and all of the people in this movie are awesome. So, we're going to talk about more, but let's get started. Alright? Because I have a lot to discuss, and there's a lot going on here. So, let's go.